one of the biggest surprises in the history of the sport. Let's go back to Frankie.
How do you rate Tony McCoy? We'll be talking to Tony a little bit later on. How do you rate him, you know, if, for instance, he was light enough to be a flat jockey?
Well, Tony, I'm glad he's stone heavier than me. He's just a machine. He's just a machine. You can't explore. You can't put into words what he's like. I mean, he's just phenomenal. What he's done, was he achieved, was carry on doing. I'll be honest with you. To have the desire, or try to win a novice third on a Monday at Taunton. I mean, I'd rather put needles in my eyes. You know? But he's just a machine, and you know, his horses for course, and he's like that, and that's his forte. I mean, I first of all, it would not interest me, but I would not even have the desire of the anger to do it. But he has. He's just going to take your hat off to him.
Yeah, he's an amazing machine. Now, someone has emailed in and says, why the restaurant at Stamford Bridge? Shouldn't that be at the Emirates?
Yeah, I think Abramovich has got more money. That's why he's there.
Also, somebody says, who is the greatest jockey that you've ridden against? Now, we had Cash Asmussen on last week. There's been some real class riders from yesteryear. Ray Cochran, Pat Eddery, Willie Carson, all those sort of guys. Who would be the greatest you rode against? Steve Cawthon, maybe? I don't know.
Exactly. But to me, my hero was Angel Cordero, but actually I never raced with him.
Right.
But I remember watching him as a kid when I was in California. But to me, my inspiration when I first came to England was Steve Cawthon. For the whole package, he was a great jockey, great balance, good ambassador. When I asked him for advice, he always taught me as best he could. And you know, I really, to me, if I had to say one name, it'd be him. But, you know, I've raced with some fantastic jockeys, you know, Kinan or Pat or Carson, and the jockeys we're riding now as well. So, but, you know, if I have to name one, it'd be Steve for me.
And Cash was telling us that he used to take a little bit off each rider, say an aggressiveness from a P-Val, a coolness of an Eddie Delahousse, that sort of thing. Have you, as you've grown up in the weighing room, because that's where you've grown up, have you taken a little bit off different jockeys?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously, when I started off with my father, he was my hero when I started off. What took out of him, it was his, you know, he was quite calculated, aggressive, studied the races a lot. You know, he would have the racing post in his hand 24/7, going for the form. And then, you know, Steve for his balance, for his front running technique, and you know. Even, you know, I even like Willie Carson. I think he looked great on the horse. He just kept on pumping, never looked out of place. The great Mick Kinnan. So a lot jockeys influenced my riding style, my career. And the 4 winters that I had in California, obviously, the likes of Shoemaker and P. Val, Gary Stevens, and Alex Solis, Pincay, Delahousse, they're the sort of, even McCarron, they're the sort of person that I was trying to learn from, and they gave me a good foundation. But at the end of the day, we all have a different physique, so you can only copy so much from other folks, but you have to let your body govern which style suits you best, you know, because even if you try to ride like Richard and Woody or Ruby Walsh or McCoy, you can't do it, you know, because their body or their physique is completely different than somebody else.
Question regarding Question of Sport. When you were captain of Question of Sport with Ali McCoy, do you still keep in contact with you ridden any of his nags, and was it good fun?
Yeah, obviously I text Ali from time to time because we've been friends for so many years, and now he's got Rangers. When I went up to Ayr a couple of years ago, I went up to watch Rangers play, and they gave me a hero's welcome. It was fantastic. Loved the atmosphere. I do keep in touch with him when I can.
Yeah.
Question of Sport times were absolutely brilliant. Loved it.
Yeah.
We had so much fun with Ali and Sue, and it was actually a quite funny story because we were staying in Manchester one night because we were doing the film in Manchester, and I went out with one of the rugby players, and I started going on one-on-one over drinks, and I came out second best. Furthermore, right, Sue was meant to give me a lift at the airport the next morning, so I was late coming downstairs. She was going mad. Oh, we're going to miss the flight. And we're halfway from the hotel to the airport. I tell her, I said, Sue, please, do you mind give me some money because I left my ticket in the safe of the hotel. So she wasn't very pleased about that either. It was like, taking one of our sons back to school. By the way, wasn't it great to see Kato Star winning so well the other day?
It was
awesome.
Absolutely fantastic.
Listen, I'm not that brave, but if I had to choose a horse to ride once, it'd be him. I know he's not the best of jumpers, but just a half pace,
Do you watch a bit of jumping then, Frankie?
I do. I do watch the good stuff. I'm one of the anoraks, then Boxing Day, I watch the King George no matter what. And, I made everybody in the house watch it. Kids are going mad because they want to watch Wizard of Oz. But I managed to watch every year. No, I think the big stuff is absolutely fabulous. And once you latch onto a horse, like I have with Kato Star, that, he's been one of my favorites, and unfortunately he's